You better say your prayers, you flea-bitten varmint. I'm gonna blow you to smithereens.
You do that and I'll kill you.
Alrighty, good evening, folks. We're here with another exciting evening of interviews. Tonight I've got Shannon Frye, drummer for Avenger of Blood. Go ahead and say hey there to everybody, Shannon.
Hi, everybody.
So if you could, Shannon, can you fill us in a little bit on the history of the band, when y'all started, and just give us a little background.
Sure. Well, it was technically started by the original guitarist, Eric, and he had recorded a demo by himself looking for a drummer. I was contacted by him, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to work on it, do a thrash band, that would be cool. So that was 2002. He moved to the Bay Area where I was living, and we just started jamming. We had our original bass player was named Vince, and we played as a three-piece for a while. Then Vince quit, and we got another bass player named Setar, and we took on the role, and we went and did our first demo as a full band, which we called Demo 2003, and we decided to move out here to Vegas because, personal reasons. So we moved here, and the move worked. We got another bass player named Sean and a guitarist named Nathan, and we did a Complete Annihilation album in 2005. Then Nathan quit. We got another guitarist named Mark. And we did a compilation called Speed Kills Again. We did 2 songs on that. And we recorded Death Brigade right after. That was released at the beginning of 2008. And went through some lineup changes again, and eventually we put it to rest for a little while until we felt like it was needed to come back. Now that we're back, it's a nice song lineup. There's myself returning on drums, of course, and Mark returning on guitar. We got a new bass player named Jeremy, and another guitarist named Brandon, who's pretty much like been my right-hand man in the writing of this new stuff for the most part. Like a big hand, and new vocalist named Andre, who we call R.A. Carden. Andre just don't fit that role. But it's good. We're recording some new stuff right now. It's in the process. We have 1 guitar solo tracking left to do, and then we move on to the mixing process. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be called Spawn of Evil. So it's 3 tracks. So something to look forward to in the near future too.
Right on. And the sounds changed just a little bit?
Oh, it has, man. It's more death thrash now. When we started, we were like all-out thrash, with the German influence and Slayer, like all mixed in a blender. But now it's like I don't know, mixed carcass with what we were doing before, I guess. That's the best way I can describe it.
Right on.
It's not a rip-off of anything, even though we were accused of that before, creator clones, whatever, right?
Yeah.
This time it's the real thing, man. This is it. I'm really happy. I've been this happy in a long time, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Man, I tell you, I cannot wait to hear y'all's new stuff. I'm a huge fan of Complete Annihilation and Death Brigade. And me and you go a ways back. We first met, when was it, 2005? Late in 2005, I think?
Right, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think that's right after we moved to Vegas, and we hooked up with you, and Avenger was playing a show over at the now closed down Cooler Lounge.
Right.
And y'all fucking threw down, man. I mean, yeah. I was very impressed with the stage show.
Right on. Yeah, the good days. The good old days.
Yeah. I love the uniform. Explain to the audience the Avenger of Blood uniform.
Well, we've always been a band that's about the image. To me, the image really represents, like, if you see a band on stage and they're leather and spikes, man, you know that's got to be a badass band. You know? So, that's what it was, leather, spikes, and bullets. But now, we've decided to up that ante and add more spikes, and more bullets, and more leather, and add it with some blood going on, you know? No band has done that here yet, in Vegas anyway, you know, so it's about to prove a point, man. And we want to put on a show, you know? Instead of doing everything kind of half-assed, so now it's all about the show, man. If you want entertainment, we're going to give it to you. That's how the feeling is now, you know?
Oh, hell yeah. I know on the music side of things... Say again?
The image to me is part of that. It's part of that show. That's part of entertainment.
Well, I know on the music side, you guys definitely have that. You know, I've watched you several times, and even to share the stage with you on a couple occasions, and you guys absolutely throw down live. I can't wait to see y'all or see a video of y'all playing live with, you know, the added spikes, leather, the bullets, and especially the blood all over you. I want to see that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it.
Right on. Let's get into some of your personal background. What started you off into drumming and into thrash?
Oh, man. Well, the drumming thing is kind of cheesy, man, but I'm just going to straight up say it. What really got me into heavy metal anyways was Quiet Riot and Motley Crue.
Right on.
When the mental health thing came out. So when you hear that beginning thing on mental health, right? That got me sold, man. Like right there, I knew I wanted to play drums, man. And but that wasn't the only thing. There was also an Ozzy song, that song Little Dolls at the very beginning, just that drum thing. That sold me too because it was so powerful to me. So those two things is what really made me a drummer. What made me a thrash, to get into thrash, was when I moved from North Dakota to LA. And I was in PE class, and there was this guy that never showered, man. He just smelled all the time. He never washed his clothes. Rather, he'd shower, he just never washed his clothes. So they were awful, but he was always had his headphones on. He was jamming out, and I asked him what he was listening to. He told me Metallica. I had never heard of no Metallica. Right, so he put it on. He let me hear it. And I thought it was cool. But the following week, I was listening to the radio station KNAC, and they were playing the song Black Magic. It was on a Monday night, and I was like, to me, that was the most haunting shit I've ever heard. So I loved it, man, and I was sold right there.
I hear you.
Since then, I had started seeking out bands, and a lot of my friends were a big help in that, and that's how it came to be now.
Yeah, Metallica kind of introduced me, well, Metallica and Slayer both introduced me into thrash and in my early years, and between Randy Rhoads and Kirk Hammett is what made me pick up a guitar. Well, Tony Iommi too. So, you've hung around back in the day in the early LA scene, correct?
Kinda, sorta, kinda, yeah.
What do you think the difference in the scene in metal now versus then is?
Well, back then, man, like there were a lot of bands, but there's not as many bands then as there is now. But the quality of the bands is really what's different. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not quality bands now. There's a lot of quality, a lot of awesome involved, and but it just seems that to me that's part of what's missing. That sometimes the heart's gone.
Yeah, it's like that they lack passion.
What's that?
Like they lack the passion.
Like what?
The passion, like we were real passionate back in the day.
Passion, right, the passion, yeah.
You'd always see guys with battle vests on, ripped jeans, and always sporting their favorite bands, and you don't see that as much nowadays, do you?
It's still there, man. It's there amongst the younger crowd nowadays. Kind of like where we were when we were 17, 16, We were sporting the battle vest, but, Thrash took a back seat for a long time, and now that Thrash is this big thing again, there's a lot of people that have brought it back. But it's not even just Thrash. I see just like straight up classic metalhead type dudes, with white wizard patches and what have you, So, and then there's dudes that were all black metal on their battle vests. So I still see it a lot, but I don't know if it has like the same meaning it did. I don't know, it's kind of hard to really explain.
Well, how about let's have a little fun with this chat room, shall we?
Sure.
Okay, now I know, like I said, I've been knowing you for a few years now. You have a special test to determine if someone is a metalhead or not, correct?
Right.
Well, present the question and we'll see how many responses we get out the chat room.
Right on. So are you wanting my answer right now?
Well, go ahead and ask the question, and then we'll answer it after we see what the chat room states.
Okay. In my opinion, because to me this is one of the ultimate metal bands ever to exist, what's the one band that deciphers if you are a true metalhead or not?
I wish I had the Jeopardy theme. I'd be playing it right now. Well, let's see. Uh-oh. Someone has answered. Grim Reaper.
That's right. That is correct.
That's right. Grim Reaper, and it's got to be the album See You in Hell.
Correct.
Oh, that was Brutiful Vixen, who I'm sure just got the answer from Buffy in the other room. So they were cheating. NK's asked, what was the question? Ask the question one more time. I'm having a couple people didn't hear the question. So answer it one more time, or ask it one more time, please.
Okay. What is the one band that deciphers if you are a true metalhead or not? Meaning, if you don't like this one band, automatic poster. Automatic.
Okay, chat room, did y'all hear it that time? It can't be Grim Reaper. How come, NK? DJ Rem says there are too many bands for that for an answer. He would say Megadeth. Judas Priest. Oh, Cutiekin said Grim Reaper is lame.
No way.
Oh.
No way.
That'd have to be a revoke on the old metal card there, right?
Yep, revoke the metal license there.
Now, guess we're going to jump into a couple of Avenger of Blood tunes. Which two would you like to hear, Shannon?
Oh, man, my favorite Avenger of Blood tune is the song When Will You Die?
Say it one more time.
When Will You Die?
All right, getting it queued up now. Alrighty, and we're back with Shannon Frye, drummer for Avenger of Blood. So Shannon, we were discussing a few things during the break, and what are your thoughts on Panic at the Disco?
Oh, retarded gay. Just dumb.
Come on, don't hold back now.
No, seriously, the funnier story is how the reaction of one person.
Oh yeah, that was fucking awesome. There's a time when Buffy's sister was asking you about Panic at the Disco and them hanging out and how cool it was. The reaction from you was, well, that was a Kodak moment that we missed.
Oh yeah.
It's still laughable after what, 6 years?
Fuck yeah, it is. Yeah, the more she talked, the more he said it was faggotry. The more she tried to talk,
Did her nose flare?
her face got red,
Yeah.
veins started popping out her head. She was trying to tell you how cool it was, and you kept telling her, no, it's faggotry. I about pissed myself laughing so fucking hard, man.
Oh yeah, stop the right track.
Alrighty.
Well, that's what happens when you only think you're metal, huh?
Oh, she's so far from metal, ain't even fucking funny. Now, a little bit more of background on you. You've played drums for a couple other bands. One of them, notably, is Seventh Calling.
Yeah, I did play drums for them, yes. Not any longer.
Were you just drumming live for them, or did you record with them?
I recorded two releases with them. One was called, what was it called? Blood of the Divine? I don't remember the first EP's name, but the album we did on Heaven and Hell Records was called Epidemic. Yeah, and it was fun to play, man. It was a fun band to play in.
Right on. And the guys are pretty cool?
Yeah, really cool. No, we, at the end here, they moved back to South Dakota. They wanted to get busy with their stuff there, and I wanted to get busy with Avenger. So it was kind of a mutual decision that we parted ways. We're still good friends.
Right on. Now, you also, you helped put on a couple of festivals. You used to help put on the, what was it, Minneapolis Mayhem, I believe?
Right.
And what were some of the bands that was on that stage?
Oh, man, there were so many awesome ones. Well, just to go down the list of a few, there was a Tankard we had one year, Suffocation, Morbid Angel, Satyricon, Heathen, Hyrax, a couple times, Usurper, to me one of the greatest bands ever, Usurper. There was, who else was there? Into Eternity, Agent Steel, did I say Agent Steel? Oldman.
Did you have Sodom?
Witches. Yeah, there was so many good ones.
And you also helped put on another festival called the Heathen Crusade, correct?
Yeah, I didn't have as much to do with that as I did with Minneapolis Mayhem festivals, but I was there to help out when I was needed.
Right on.
And it was a cool festival, man, because I love folk metal. I think the stuff's really cool, you know? So out there and bizarre to make you want to party.
Right on. Now, well, what do you have coming up in the future? I know you're about to do this new release, and y'all have any shows coming up? Y'all planning on touring? Y'all got picked up by a record label yet?
Well, we're just now booking our first show back. It's been almost 4 years since we've been on a stage. So, yeah, here in town that I think is a great death metal band called Spun in Darkness. They're having their split CD release show. I don't know who it was they did a split with, I can't remember, but if you like Asphyx and like the old school death metal of that style, Asphyx and the old Pestilence, like these guys are that, you know, to me,
Right.
these guys are awesome. There's also a band called Minus, which is like Metallica and In Flames kind of mixed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I could describe them. They're pretty good. And there's a band named Predatorial who is here. They're another local band. Every band's a local band. But to me, I wanted to pick some of the best bands that there is to play the show with us, because to us it's a big deal. To them it's a big deal to play the show as well. So like, you know, it works out great, man. You know, everybody's excited and everybody wants it to do well. So we're working our ass off to start promoting it. You know, it just got booked, so it's still in the beginning stages of promotion too.
Now, what's the scene like in Vegas now as compared to how it used to be?
Well, there's still some good bands, man. You know, it's better than it used to be, I guess, in a lot of ways, but in other ways, it still has its downfalls. But as far as the bands, man, there's a lot of good bands here now, a lot more than what used to be. But I don't know. To me, it's really just the same, you know.
Has the venues improved at all?
Cheyenne Saloon just rebuilt the stage area, so it sounds a lot better. Did a good job with it. Well, I've only been there for one show, though, and I was only there for a few minutes to check it out. But other venues, there's bands, but as far as I know, they don't want anything as heavy as us there. It's a cool place, though. There's a place called Boomers. There's a place called the Bikini Bar. There's a few others, but I don't really know much about them. I don't really go out much too much these days. Kind of hermitize myself.
Well, Buffy wants me to ask you about the night that we had over at the Whiskey A Go Go in L.A.
Sure. What you want to know exactly?
How was it sharing the stage with Mastery? I know those guys are really fucking cool.
Oh man, we shared the stage with them twice. They're an awesome band, man. They were instrumental back then. They had the last I read, they had Billy Milano from MOD on vocals now.
Wow.
But I'm not sure what the status is with that band. But yeah, we played with them also in a place called Baker. Was it Baker or Barstow? One of the two, yeah, it was Barstow. We played out there with them at this big hole in the wall, man. It was kick-ass.
Yeah, and
Yeah, in particular, if you get to the whiskey show in particular, that show in particular, I believe, was us and them and Warbringer. And, what, am I right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And there was a few other bands that played, but they weren't anything special really to me. But that was a fun show. I had a great time that night.
We did too, even though we went to the wrong Denny's afterwards.
And that crazy motel, man.
I know, right? That was like ghetto.
I couldn't even find the beach the next morning, remember?
We got all kind of twisted up. Yeah, if we went to the correct Denny's, we'd have been hanging out with Gene Hoglan of Death Clock and Death and Strapping Young Lad fame.
Right.
But we went to the wrong Denny's.
Hung out with him, but we didn't. They kind of sucked, but man, I ended up meeting him later, and that guy's super cool.
Is he?
That guy's like one of the coolest dudes ever.
I remember we met, what was that guy's name? Bruno, I think, from Lead 'em a Census.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that at the Cooler Lounge, right?
No, that was actually out in front of the whiskey.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, he played here once, a long time ago. That's how I knew that guy.
He was a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, they're a cool band too. But too much emphasis, yeah.
I don't just remember how cold it was out there.
It was chilly.
Yeah, well,
That's it, Boris.
especially
Boris.
the Vegas heat, man.
Thank you, Cutie Kins. It wasn't Bruno, it was Boris. I remember it started with a B. So, how much longer you said until the CD's done?
We're looking at, I would say about a month. Because there's still the one guitar we do next Thursday, the solos and tracks. And then we start mixing, and I know the mixing ain't going to take that long, because it's pretty close already the way it is. But, to listen back, we only usually get 1 day a week in the studio, sometimes in back, because there's so many bands going to the sky who's recording us. So in certain ways, that helps us, so we can get our shit together as we're going, but slows it down too, because we want it out just as bad as everybody else does.
Right.
So, but I would say a month.
Now, where are you guys recording at?
It's a place called Cons 15 Studios. It's run by a guy named Jason.
Mm-hmm.
It's over by the airport here. Really cool place, man. It's been a studio before, but just kind of changed hands a couple times throughout the years of being built. But he was telling us that all these like famous people like Michael Jackson and Victoria Jackson, who knows who, Marvin Gaye, who knows, all recorded at this place supposedly. But it's got great sound, and this guy's doing just an awesome job, really. I couldn't be happier.
Right on. And are y'all working with a producer, or are y'all pretty much self-producing it?
We're kind of doing it together. It's kind of half us and half him.
And it's sounding pretty brutal, right?
Oh man, sounding insanely brutal. It's just so aggressive and so pissed off, just like I wanted it from the start,
Cutie says you were talking about an old band.
And Cutiekins was in that band.
And Cutiekins was in that band.
But he won't say his real name.
An old band?
He said Shannon was talking about an old band that he was in, or she, and won't say who it is. I guess the mystery continues.
The band that we talked about earlier.
Panic at the Disco?
I don't know, you put up Crisscross a little while ago, too. Well, oh, come on, man. You know that's your favorite band.
He's a he.
Okay, so Cutiekins is a he.
Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and slap on some more Avenger of Blood. Give people some something to make their ears bleed too.
Awesome.
And we've got some Forced to Kill coming up.
Excellent.
All right, metalheads, we're back with Shannon Frye, drummer for Avenger of Blood.
Is he tripping?
I don't know. And we have, we were talking during the break, and Shannon had something he wanted to say regarding the past and regarding metal archives and the information about Death Brigade. Go ahead, Shannon.
Okay. worry about this, but I do, because it's irritating. But, you know, when you go online and you're looking at reviews, even though reviews are just one person's opinion, it's still nice to see that sometimes, you know? But when they have the information wrong, to me, that's a big irritation, man. You know, it seemed like these people that did these reviews, they just looked at what the lineup is right away, and then they download the album, and then they do the review. I really it's not even right. Or, you know, there's one thing that I'm trying to fix. A lot of people that have the, I don't know, what is it, Metro PCS, that phone, and you go into the music section where you can listen to stuff. I don't even know what it's called, but because I don't have that stuff. But you go in there and you look up Avenger Blood, and it has this bio, and nothing in the bio is right except like a few names. Oh man, I just find that really irritating, you know?
It's very irritating. I know whenever I review a band, I contact the band and ask questions, and you know, for me, you know, I got a lot of bands right now that are waiting on their reviews to be done, and I had to put up a post about it today. It's not a quick process. I'm not going to just throw out some shit. I'm going to listen to the songs a few times, contact a band, make sure all the information's correct before I post anything up, because you know, you're trying to represent the band in the best way possible, and you want all the information correct, and you don't want yourself looking like a piece of shit in the process.
Right.
You know, a lot of people nowadays, you know, when they do reviews, they just seem like they're ready to slap anything up on there, and just some way of attaching their name to something.
Right.
It's a bunch of bogus plastic posturing, and fuck them people.
Right. Right. But you know, at the time, you know, when the other guys quit, there was a certain point that I was told by the label that I could not say anything at all. I had to keep things quiet and look for a new guitarist and a new bass player without making it publicly known. But that's hard to do, man, especially if you got to go out and tour and people are expecting this and that. And that's kind of where things really took a dive. You know?
Yep.
And then you have to hire somebody now. Well, okay, for this band, which was quite difficult at a certain point. I mean, it gets better later, but at a certain point, Eric was the first one to quit, okay? And we had just recorded Death Brigade, and it wasn't even on the shelves yet. So he quit, and then we had an audition with two guitars that we were not down to replace Eric. One option was to take this one guitarist and have Sean do the vocals, which he seemed like he was great about because he did one song on the album of Death Brigade, so he seemed like a natural fit. So the day we come to hire the new guitarist, Sean quits. So we had to go with this other guitarist, which was, like, to me, the wrong thing to do because there were so many problems. But we went with him, we decided to give it a try, and it just wasn't the same. You know, and that's the guy's name that's all over the reviews. You know, it's like, dude, he wasn't even on the album. He never sang on anything except a few live shows. And then we put the band on hiatus because it got to the point where why would it take you a year and a half to write 3 riffs? You know?
Wow.
To try and put a song together. Why would it take a year and a half? So, if it's going to take you a year and a half, then I don't want you. I don't want to work with you. You're slow, you're dumb.
Exactly.
You should be dumb, you know?
Tell us how you really feel, Shannon.
That's how I really feel. I mean, so now that it's back and it's a different band, everybody at least is on the same page, man. You know, we all want the same thing and we all have the same vision. We all decided to play the same music, and it was the direction that I wanted to go anyway. So luckily everybody and I hated everybody and everything. All just because of that, man. You know?
Yep. It kind of sucks when a band splits.
It's easier than it was to build it. That's like pointless, you know?
It sucks when a band splits and, you know, you got that good vibe happening and all of a sudden, you know, somebody's panties get twisted the wrong way or something and they walk and, you know, you got to rebuild and it's not the same vibe and you got to fight through it and go through multitudes of different musicians till you maybe finally find the right group again. I'm glad you found the right group.
Yeah, man, me too. I think everybody else is going to be equally as surprised. I mean, if you're expecting the 80s thrash, the 80s thrash, the retro thrash, it's the term that we record, it's not that at all anymore. You know, I wanted to move away from that. You know, there was a certain magic with that old band. And you can't recreate a certain magic. You have to create new magic. Well, the only way to create new magic is to change things, to make it accessible. If this guitarist plays different than somebody else that's in the past, well, of course they should be able to play the songs the way they are. I mean, okay, add your own little twist, but the new stuff, man, is what to me is what it's all about, man. You need to keep progressing. You need to keep moving. You got to keep pushing yourself and keep pushing your limits and see how far you can take things. And that's just what I'm doing. I'm just pushing myself to the next stage of aggression and insanity. That's all I'm doing. And that's all I wanted, you know?
Right on.
I mean, I wanted to go this route from the very, very beginning, technically, but just went with the thrash thing, and the thrash thing came back, and hey, awesome. We were one of the best. We were one of the few to help it. You know, awesome, man. I can't be happier about that. But at the same time, now I want to move on from that. You know, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
To me,
it's. I'm very curious to hear what you got because the way it sounds to me is like you got some kind of blackened death thrash you're about to release, and I tell you, bro, I am itching to hear it.
right on. I wish it was done already, honestly.
Now, we were also discussing while the songs were playing. You were actually in a documentary or a thrashumentary, if you will. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, it was when Get Thrash DVD came out, this guy in Lincoln, Nebraska decided that he wanted to make his own about the current scene of thrash. So, you know, Avenger, Blood, Fueled by Fire, Merciless Death, Bonded by Blood, Blessed Curse, you know, those kind of bands. There's so many more. Diamond Plague, there's just so many. But anyways, it was about the current scene. And my appearance in there is only like 5 seconds. Because when they were interviewing me, I was actually quite pissed. I was really angry.
You pissed? I don't believe it.
I didn't want to be. It was just at that point in my life, I was just pissed off. You know, so, you know, to the guy who made the DVD, man, I'm sorry. To those who have it, who will plan on getting it, I'm sorry.
Now, actually,
I shouldn't have been interviewed. They probably should have took somebody else from the band who would have been like a super positive, aggressive person, which wasn't me. And it was freezing balls, man. It was like, seriously, man, 25, 30 degrees outside, you know, where you can see your breath. You're wearing a jacket, and that doesn't even help, and you're wearing a stocking hat. Because you have a shaved head, man, that cold still gets through. I was just, But
now you can actually find.
Interview me, man. I'd be glad to do it.
I think you can find snippets of that documentary on YouTube. I believe I've watched parts of it before.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's on YouTube. I've watched it. I was just really irritated, really pissed.
I just can't see you being irritated or pissed, Shannon. I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm like the most angry man alive at times, man.
Great interview.
Alrighty, well, I think we've covered just about everything. We can just bullshit now. What do you think about the current state of metal? Do you think documentaries like Metal: A Headbanger's Journey and things like that are helping bring more attention to it now?
I think it just helps the metal community. I don't think many people outside of metal would watch that, honestly. I mean, maybe a few, but I don't see a lot, because people with the negative connotation of metal, a lot of people already have. I think it would just be the same thing. I don't think they would be looking at it with the same eyes that someone who's into metal like us, who are so passionate about it, review it the same way. But I do like them. I think they're great. I think that Sam guy who did the DVDs and the documentaries is really good at what he's doing. And I hope they make more of it, you know?
Right on.
I think what I really like, man, is the documentaries on the actual bands. To me, that's cool. You know, when you see those, like, for example, the Sodom DVDs, it's like a two-part series of the band from the beginning to nowadays, or the Creator DVD, where they show and talk with the old members and whatnot, you know? To me, that's really cool. That's what I like. I hope more bands do that, man, because, you know, I want to learn about bands, man.
I
like knowing everything. You know, back in the 80s, you knew everybody who was in every band by their name. You may not have known that because you're just a kid, you know, but you knew who was in Motley Crue. You knew who was in Slayer. You know, those were your favorite bands. You knew who was in Iron Maiden, Judas Priest.
I got to watch the Cannibal Corpse 20-year DVD. Oh God, it was 2 or 3 years ago now when it first came out, and I thought it was so awesome because, you know, like you said, it takes it from the beginning where they're in the garage. They really haven't learned anything. Talk to their parents and how the parents thought they were nuts, and you know, and now 20 years later, they're pretty much the biggest death metal act out there. And you really got to almost grow with them, you know, over, you know, I think it was 6 hours DVD.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean,
I've never seen that.
More bands need to do shit like that. Say again?
Yeah.
He said he never.
I have never seen that.
You ought to, man. It's really fucking good.
I'd want to.
He's tripping now. Why haven't I seen that?
Don't worry, I haven't either.
So, are there any bands that you're currently into at the moment?
Man, there's a lot, man. As far as like classic metal, there's this band named Monument. They're awesome. For Thrash, man, I'm like huge into Death Chain and Decented. And one of my all-time favorite bands is actually one of my best friends in the world. And these guys are like bros to me. It's a band called Greyfield. And my buddy Dave, who happens to be in the chat room, man, used to be in Hyrax, and he's in a band called Ruthless now. I don't know if Ruthless is still together. I don't think so, but he was in Ruthless.
Right on.
I like them. There's a band in LA that the singer for Ruthless went to named Cigar that I think is very good. Man, there's a lot, man. I just can't think of them offhand.
Oh, Dave said, nope, they quit last month.
Well, that was a good band, man.
He said, Sammy is back in Scarred.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's a cool dude, too. I like all these guys, man. They're all cool.
So, does Vegas have any good major acts coming through?
Man, I couldn't tell you. As far as I know, though. Who knows? I don't know.
I saw something about Fear Factory playing at the Cheyenne.
What up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going. I'll stay at home and play my video games.
I hear you. And Dave said Jeff Loomis is coming.
Jeff Loomis just played here. Just played here 2 nights ago. Yeah, I can go though.
Oh. Well, NK says he digs Jeff Loomis. I do too, man. I'm a fan of Nevermore.
Oh yeah, me too. I think they're a very good band.
They're awesome.
Very talented musicians, man.
Well, how about let's throw on a few more of from Death Brigade. And what do you want to hear next, Shannon?
You know what, man? A lot of people like that song Where the Pictures Lie. Maybe throw that one on.
Alrighty.
Which one?
6. Alright, we're going to throw that one up, and let's throw on something off of Complete Annihilation, too.
Okay. So that one was on complete. How about Colors of the Bloodline?
Alright. Tyrants of the Bloodline. Alright, well, we've got Where the Pictures Lie, Complete Annihilation, and Tyrants of the Bloodline is coming up to you next. Stay tuned, fuckers. Alright there, metalheads, we are back yet again with Shannon Frye, drummer of Avenger of Blood. And we got a few shout outs we want to do. Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, man, I want to say hi to my buddy Dave that's in that chat room there. What's up, Dave? And, yeah, everybody else that's in there listening, thank you for listening. Right on.
We get a lot of people here that's loving your tunes, man.
Cool. I'm glad you do.
I want to give a shout out to Cigar Man. That's a friend of mine named Tiny from Baton Rouge. Thanks a lot for showing up. Thank you to Billy and Rem, NK.
On the road, Rush Rules.
Rush Rules on the road. Cutiekins, aka Dave. I love the names this chat room just throws on people. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
My favorite one so far has been Chris from Slug. He come in as Wookiee Lips. Sounds like a Star Wars porno, don't it? Star Wars Episode 69, Wookiee Lips. I know. A bad mental picture, isn't it?
It is. Very bad.
Be Wookiee muff flying all over the walls. Man, that should be a nasty sight. So, we were talking during the break about your love of Panic at the Disco again.
Yeah, how great of a band that sucks.
Oh, I swear, every time I even hear that name, it reminds me of that day you just totally broke down the sister-in-law. That shit was priceless.
Yeah, that's what's the point.
See, that's something that should have been on something like America's Home videos?
Yeah.
But in a vinyl version, Brandon posts vinyl home videos. That would have won the grand prize, man. 50 grand.
Yeah, that would have won 100.
Well, let's, if you would, let's take a few questions from the chat room. Okay, chat room, any questions for Shannon from Avenger of Blood?
I'll give him a minute to type.
And we're waiting.
Who spends the most time in the mirror before a show?
What?
Who spends the most time in the mirror before a show?
Well, I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. Since we haven't played a show with this lineup yet.
Fair.
I got,
couldn't tell you.
NK is asking, what bands would you like to play with?
What bands have I gotten to play with?
Which bands would you like to play with?
Oh, like to play with. Well, man, I still have two on my wish list that I have to play with before I die. And that's Sodom and Creator. Honestly, those two bands are like, they've been two of my all-time favorite bands for a long time, you know.
Right on.
Really what inspired me to play thrash in the first place, aside from Slayer. But aside from those two bands, that chain, I love that band. They're from Finland, you should look them up. That thrash stuff, really cool. What else would I like to play with? And there's just so many. Slayer, of course, that's pretty much like a dream for anybody, though. Oh, man. On the spot questions I'm not good at. Oh, man, if that Epic Gage would be rad to play with. My friends in Grayfield, I'd love to play with them. We haven't done a show yet together.
That's an awesome band, too.
Ask
Who else, man? There's just so many. If Big Flash 3/4, man, that's like, that would be like an all-time goal. Immolation, love to play with Immolation. Yeah, I don't know.
I had, Rush Rules in the chat room asked if you still play guitar.
A little bit. I'm not very good. I still play a little bit.
And Cigar...
Master of the numerous.
Cigar Man's asking, who is your strongest influence as a band?
As a band? As a band nowadays or as a band in the old days?
Either. Or both.
A band in the old days would have been Slayer and Creator, like Teven. The band nowadays is probably got Chain and Defleshed.
And how about you personally?
The same. The same. Personally, like the biggest influence on me personally as a drummer, man, Dave Lombardo for sure, Gene Hoagland for sure, Frank Benally, and Steve Riley from Wasp when he was in Wasp, not LA Guns, but when he was in Wasp, I used to love Wasp, man.
Right on.
And Steven Schwartzman and Stephen Kaufman, both have accepted. I think those are both awesome drummers. They've been a huge influence on me. And honestly, like, some of my personal friends have been like huge influences on me as well. Like Rob Alanis, who's in like almost every band there is. Evil Dead, Nocturnary Winterthrob. He's been a huge influence on me. My friend Rat Davis from Grayfield and Morgion,
Now, have you guys picked up any endorsements or any sponsors yet?
No. We haven't really been trying, man. We've just been trying to focus on refocusing our energies on getting this live stuff going again and get going again as a band. I mean, endorsements will come down. You know, if we have belief in ourselves, we just have to push ourselves to that level of getting those endorsements. But until then, man, we're just going to work on ourselves, you know. We want to put on the best show that we possibly can, and we want to write the best music that we possibly can. So that's just what we're focusing on now.
Right on. Had Dave asked, where's the Avenger of Blood comeback gig going to happen at?
Here in Las Vegas at the Cheyenne Saloon, September 15th, which is a Saturday. It's the exact middle of the week. Yeah, it's like $5 pre-sale at the club, and I believe it's $9 at the door. $7 at the door, rather. 21 up, of course. That kind of sucks for the underage people, but well, we gotta do it sometimes.
Now, Cigar Man's asking, of all the songs that y'all have written, which one was the hardest to write?
The hardest to write. Man, I would have to say it was, you know, that's tough, man. That song that we played earlier called Where the Pictures Lie.
Mm-hmm.
That one was kind of a bitch because we didn't really know what we were doing. It just came out that way. But we were big on the groove part, you know, but it just seemed to just go forever, and it was like, dude, we got to do something with this. But by that point, we already had this whole structure down, and we just decided, okay, instead of a breakdown, man, let's have a break up. So it got faster, you know?
Right on.
Like that one was a bitch. And on the EP, not the EP, but the compilation album we did, when we had 2 songs, there's a song that we did called Affliction. And that one was kind of a pain in the ass because it was, oh man, there was always something missing in that song when we were writing it. But once we got it down, man, it's a heavy bastard, you know? So those 2 I would say, for sure. Off of our new stuff, there's a song that we have called Centuries of Hell. And that was a pain. In the lyric department, we could never get. To me, it still needs work, but I'm happy enough with it the way it is. That it's not bad, but it was the riff that we had. It's so hard to sing over that riff, and we didn't want to change the riff because the riff was awesome. So Centuries of Hell off our new stuff was a pain in the ass, and also the song Aggressive Psychotic Behavior. That one, man, and we rewrote that like 4 or 5 times before we even got it right. We went through a lot of help because we weren't settling for just it's okay. We were going for the gusto on it, you know. And we achieved it, but it took 4 times to rewrite that song to get it to that point.
Now, Cigar Man's asking, what song just fell together? Well, what was the song that just kind of came together real easy?
Complete Annihilation came together real easy. Central Death came together real easy. Those are off of Complete Annihilation, the first album. Off of the second album, Death Brigade was just right there. That was simple. Assassins was pretty easy. staying together like shit and flies on shit, you know? It's automatic.
So, are you guys getting any label interest at the moment?
There's some, I can't really talk about that, but there's some interest. We'll wait and see how that pans out. We're hoping for the best, but if we even have to do it on our own, man, so be it, you know?
Oh, I know,
I know people like it.
Go ahead.
Oh, I know people like it, so man, I ain't too worried.
Well, I know y'all released Death Brigade through Heavy Artillery, and they're now defunct, correct?
Correct, yeah. That just recently happened. But, we were already pretty much separated from that label anyway. It was a mutual decision at the time that we both went our separate ways.
Right on.
But yeah, Eric Records bought out the whole, bought out that label. So they have the rights to our album right now, and, you know, if we keep our fingers crossed, hopefully they re-release it. But, you know, it's a good deal. I hope the best for it all, you know?
Okay, we've got On the Road to Rock just asked, out of all the songs that have been written in the world, what song do you wish that your band wrote or covered first?
You would help, like Grim Reaper? Yeah, man, honestly, that's so cool. Yeah, also, man, to say that I wrote first, man, Cryonics.
Right on.
Dude, get that song is genius.
Okay, any more questions from the chat room? Guess we're going to play a couple more tunes from Avenger of Blood for you. Let's go a little old school with Bound by Torment. Put Everlasting Plague. And we'll start with those two. Alright, thanks for sticking around, and we'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty, metalheads, and we are back. And we're about to wrap things up here with Shannon Frye, drummer for Avenger of Blood. Shannon, thanks for taking the time to come in here and tell us your tale.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, and thank you everybody for listening.
Yeah, I was calling this tonight Tales from the Thrash Side.
From the brass side. Right on.
So, in closing, let everybody know, throw out some links to where people might be able to find, say, your first album, Complete Annihilation, your second album, Death Brigade, and where people can find the new album.
Well, as far as Complete Annihilation, it's out of print, so best place to look would be eBay. As for Death Brigade, that's also out of print. So, eBay, your local record store, I guess, may have a copy of both of those. Speed Kills Again, you can find, if you just went online and did a search, I guess. I don't know. Our new stuff will be coming out. We'll be releasing that free to the world, so everybody gets to hear it. Everybody can just have it, you know?
Right on.
Our way of pushing ourselves back, and we hope everybody likes it. If you want more information on the band, on Facebook you'll find us, AOB Thrash, or just look up Avenger of Blood. You can find us on just about anywhere you look, man. If you just
pretty much just.
But we're going to have a new website built pretty soon, and I don't know what the address will be, but that's in the talking stages right now. We're just, we're getting things going again. It's taking a little time, but before you know it, everything will be back in everyone's face.
And that's what we're wanting.
Oh, yeah.
All right, brother. Well, I want to thank, of course, everyone in the chat room. Billy, Vixen, Buffy, Rem, NK1, On the Road to Rock, Rush Rules, Dave, Tiny. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out in the chat room. Shannon, thank you so much, brother, for spending some time with us and letting us know what you're doing and giving us a little